What's up, Universal Park Addicts? Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing the second part of our 30 ride tournament bracket. So in the first video, if you go back and check that out, we do a ranking system of theme, thrill, and wait time versus experience. So we rated those and we got a ranking based on those three categories. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the seedings of kind of how they all fell based on our ratings from that video. And so maybe you're wondering why some are in the order that they are. So you might want to go back and check out that video so you kind of understand why they are there. Because some of those we might not agree with either. But anyways, this is how it laid out. So here's what we got. On the seedings from 1 through 10, we have this up here on the board. So you can check that out. We're going to go to our seedings 11 through 20. Up on the board there, let you check that out. And then lastly, we have 21 through 30. So that's going to be the layout of the tournament. Let us know if you think any are in the wrong spot, if you disagree with any of those, or if you think we did pretty good with the ones that we have. Let us know in the comments below what you think. All right, so now we're going to go and jump into the tournament bracket. Before we begin, do you have anything you want to say?
But he'll put for that other video, he'll put a link in the description at the bottom. But these are, our rankings. I mean, you might have different rankings. Like I said, some people might like Fallon, some people might not. So that's just, up for debate. Like you said, leave a comment if you want, and we can discuss it.
All right, so we're going to jump into the tournament. So now, since we did a rating system of basically we did a 1 through 10 on each of those three categories, theming, thrill, and wait time versus experience, in this video, we're not necessarily going to go with that as much as the comparison of the rides. So, for example, we have the 17th and 16th ranked ride, Jimmy Fallon versus Rip Ride. So in that, we're going to go through and pick if we determine if we like the theming of each ride better and vice versa with wait time versus experience. So what's going to happen is best 2 out of 3 moves on. So if we like the theming of Rip Ride better than Jimmy Fallon, that's 1 for Rip Ride. And then so on with thrill and wait time versus experience. The 2 out of 3 moves on and it goes to the next round. So it's going to be a little bit quicker video than the last one since we kind of went in detail more so on the last video. So go check that out if you want to know more detail about each ride. This is going to be our tournament and to see which one we think reigns supreme. So, starting off, we have a 30 ride tournament which gave 2 rides a bye. So that's Gringotts, which actually came out as the #1 ride overall, and Velocicoaster came out as the #2 ride overall. And I know what you're thinking, that's probably crazy to put Gringotts over Velocicoaster, but like I said, you got to go check out the last video to really get the in-depth detail on why that's there.
When we rated them, we didn't go back and say, oh, well, this one's better than this. We just rated them as what we thought at the time. So we might go through here and, the Hulk might beat out Gringotts. I mean, you never know. It just...
Never know. So basically, we put this in a bracket. It put the ranks in there, however, so we're going to go with it how it is. Both parks all in one. We might do some future videos where we split them all up, maybe by category of a ride, like water rides, screen rides, things like that. But for today's video, it's all inclusive. Everything, all part of the park. So, here we go. So, first off, Gringotts gets a bye. Second, we are at the rank 17 versus 16. So, 17 Jimmy Fallon versus Rip Ride Rockit at number 16. So, first off in the first category is theming. Which one do you feel has the best theming?
I mean, Jimmy Fallon has the best. They have the best theming.
I agree.
When it comes down to it.
I agree because Rip Ride doesn't really have much to go there. So the theming is going to go to Jimmy Fallon. All right. So next we have thrill.
If you're going by thrill, you're talking roller coaster versus screen ride. I'm going to take a roller coaster any day, so I'm going Rip Ride.
I agree there. So that's 2 out of 3 for Rip Ride. So no need to go any farther with the wait time and experience. But for the sake of it, which one would you pick for wait time versus experience?
Probably Rip Ride.
All right.
Again, it is a roller
We both
coaster.
agree there.
Plus, you go upside. You're straight up in the...
For the next one, and you can follow us along up here on the screen, we have the number 9 seeded Spider-Man, which ranked pretty low to me, and versus the number 24 Fast and Furious. Do we even need to go through this?
No.
Okay, so we know Spider-Man's gonna move on, but
I do think the theming in Fast and Furious is probably better, but the rest of it is no.
yeah, I think that one kind of probably comes down to what you prefer. But
Yeah.
like we said, we
I
know
mean,
that
the
Spider-Man's gonna
ride
move
and
on.
then the weight versus the experience is 10 times better for Spider-Man.
Exactly. And in future videos, we're gonna break down each ride specifically. But today, we're just getting this tournament. So we have next up the number 25 ranked Kangen Kodos versus the number 8 Wrangle Kong. What's your choice for theming?
Kong.
Kong takes the cake on theming. Thrill,
Kong.
Kong again. And of course, wait time versus experience.
Kudos. No,
King,
I'm joking.
King Kodos would
I mean,
beat the
'cause
wait
you,
time.
you have no wait time.
Yeah, it would beat
But
the wait time,
I'm
but
gonna go with
experience-
Kong. Yeah, I go with Kong all three of those.
So no need to really spend time on that. So we have that round. Next up is Hulk versus Storm Acceleration.
That's funny how that ended up right beside
right beside each other, and they're literally beside each
Right
other in the
beside
park.
each other, yeah.
So number 5 ranked Hulk versus number 28 ranked Storm Acceleration with the theming.
I'm going to Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah.
And a thrill,
Hulk.
Hulk. So
Yeah.
we move on with Hulk and wait time versus experience.
Hulk.
Hulk.
Yeah.
Easy money there.
I mean, unless your experience is you want to get sick.
Exactly. Next up, we have the number 21 ranked Flyers versus the number 12 ranked Men in Black ride. So theming, what's your pick here?
I'd be Men in Black.
I'm gonna agree, Men in Black over the Flyers for theming. So that's 1 for Men in Black. Next up for thrill.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going with Pterodon Flyers for thrill.
Okay.
I mean, Men in Black is fun, but there's really no thrill there. I mean, it's if you're on Pterodon Flyers, you're above the park. You're seeing it. I mean, that's
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go with Men in Black on that one. So that's where we're gonna differ a little bit. So that one's gonna be a tie. So right now it's a 1-0 still for Men in Black. So lastly, wait time versus experience.
Men in Black.
Men in Black. So we've differed on the second category of thrill, but with still 2-0 overall, it's gonna be Men in Black or 2-, whatever you want to call it. So Men in Black moves on, and we have next up Hagrid's versus Simpsons.
All right.
Theming.
I mean, theming. I mean, I'm gonna go Hagrid's. Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
I agree. Hagrid's is better theming. I mean, it's part of the the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It's got way more to it. Other than the ride itself, theme is not great, but the actual ride's cool. And then thrill.
again, it's a roller coaster. I'm gonna pick a roller coaster over a screen ride any day.
Yep.
Maybe. I mean, maybe not. I don't
Especially
know. I'd have
a
to see what I get
stationary
there. Yeah.
screen ride,
Yeah.
you know.
Stationary. Screen
Maybe if it
ride
was
versus-
Back to the Future
So
still.
I'm
might-
gonna have to go Hagrid's. I mean, Hagrid's
I
is
agree.
just too fun. To be
So
honest
that's
with you.
2
And
out of 3.
Honestly, Hagrid's is probably rated a little too low here.
I agree. It's ranked a 13, and I think that's crazy.
It
Especially
should
if
be
Spider-Man
a top.
is higher.
Hagrid's is a top 10 ride.
I think when you're doing the bracket, and the reason why you probably would disagree as well, but the reason why we did so low is because the theming overall, when we were doing the bracket, was ranked low because there's not much to it. But in this category, it's definitely better than Simpsons. So Hagrid's is going to move on. And wait time versus experience, honestly, would probably go, it's 50-50 because they both have terrible wait times. And the experience is,
Yeah.
I mean, going to lean towards Hagrid. So Hagrid's takes the cake. We move on to the number 29 ranked Minion Mayhem versus the number 4 Transformers.
Not even close.
Which is crazy that Transformers is so high ranked. But, yeah, not
Not
even close. Transformers going to move on. Minion Mayhem is...
I think in that situation, Transformers beats it in every category.
every category, and there wasn't much to say for Minion Mayhem.
No.
All right, next up we have the number 3 ranked Mummy, Revenge of the Mummy ride, versus the 30 Carousel.
Theming, Mummy,
Theming Mummy, Thrill Mummy,
Mummy,
and Wait Time for Experience,
Mummy.
Mummy. Even though Carousel has basically no wait time, it's not really a great experience either.
There's not
So,
really, I mean, there's no thrill unless you're a little kid. I mean,
so we're gonna move on. Next ride we have Troller Coaster or Jurassic River Adventure. Theming,
they're both not great.
not great theming.
Um,
Not, but let's go overall. At least when you get into Jurassic, you have of the
trees
ride, you have
and-
more.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jurassic.
So
on it.
Jurassic on theming, Thrill,
Jurassic.
obviously Jurassic, and Wait Time for Experience.
Jurassic.
All right, we move on. Number 11 ranked Ripsaw Fall versus number 22 ranked Trolley Train. So High in the Sky Trolley versus Ripsaw. Theming.
Ripsaw. Yeah, I mean, it's...
At least there's more to it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of theming in Ripsaw,
yeah.
but there is some. I mean,
And the thing about the Trolley Train is the ride itself, there's like no theming.
Yeah.
It's just you drive through the park.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Thrill, obviously Ripsaw.
Yeah. The big
And then we move on to Wait Time versus Experience.
Ripsaw.
Yeah. All right, so we move on. Rank.
Of course,
26
these are going to get a lot tougher. When
Yeah,
it gets,
once we get towards the final four,
we can get rid of some of these.
It's going to be hard.
No.
Fearfall versus Forbidden Journey. Now, we never really even rode Fearfall, so I don't even think we should go through the categories here.
It's Forbidden Journey. Yeah.
Forbidden Journey.
We've rode it, and
It's crazy. Forbidden Journey is ranked 6th on this.
And I'm not,
Wow.
I mean, like I said,
It's not one of our favorite rides.
I'm not a
still
big
ranked
fan.
6th.
It's a good ride, but it's just not. I mean, for me, it's
Yeah.
not. I don't like the ride.
Also, a high ranked ride, E.T., coming in at number 7. It's pretty crazy. Versus the number 26, One Fish, Two Fish. E.T. for theming,
Yes.
E.T. for thrill,
Yes.
and Wait Time versus Experience.
Yes. E.T.
We move on.
All the way.
All the way. Not much of a competition there. All right, next up is Flight of the Hippogriff versus Popeyes. Theming? Neither
Neither one has a whole lot of theming. So I'm gonna say Popeyes because it does
Probably
have like
it has a little bit.
it has
more.
like the bold area kind of thing,
And you can walk through
Yeah.
some. Thrill.
Popeyes.
Popeye. Because you get soaking wet. And then lastly, Wait Time versus Experience.
With the way the wait time for Hippogriff has been, I'm going with Popeyes.
Easily Popeye.
Yeah.
Okay, next up we have Cat in the Hat at rank 15 versus rank 18 Minion Blast. Theming.
I'm going Cat in the Hat.
Okay, for theming for me, I'm going to go Minion Blast. So that one's a one-off. We're going to cancel those out. So now it's down to the last two categories. Thrill.
I don't like Minion Blast, so I'm going Cat in the Hat.
Yeah, you got the wrong ride.
I'm
over
thinking. Never mind. I'm thinking of Minion Mayhem.
So you want to start this over? So
Yeah,
theming for
actually,
Minion Blast.
We'll go Blast. Yeah.
Okay, so I chose Blast the first one, so we're going to give that one a 1 now. So Minion Blast actually takes the lead. All right, so Thrill.
Actually, Minion Blast ain't that bad. I mean, it's better than Mayhem.
Okay. It's still a tough one.
I mean, it's a
but
shooting
I guess
game. It's a
I
shooting
guess I'll
game
give
that
it to
kids-
Minion Blast because I don't think Cat in the Hat's going to get very far. And then lastly, whether it matters or not, Wait Time versus Experience probably would go to Cat in the Hat, but it's not going to matter because there's not any wait time. And the experience is not terrible compared to Minion Blast. But it doesn't matter. We have the first upset, I believe, of the tournament, which is going to be Minion Blast moves on as the number 18 seed. Now,
I don't think they're going much further.
we're going to start from the bottom now. So of the screen, you can move up with this. We're going to go with the number 2 seeded Velocicoaster that had a bye in the first round versus Minion Blast. I don't necessarily think that we need to talk too much about this one. Theming,
All three is Velocicoaster.
yeah, all 3 Velocicoaster by far.
Now, this one gets a little tough.
This one is tougher. So we have E.T. versus Popeyes. So E.T. Classic, I think the theming's pretty good. I'm going to go with theming over Popeyes.
I will go with E.T. over Popeyes on theming.
Now, Thrill,
I'm going Popeyes.
I'm going Popeyes. So right now it's 1-1. So now it's Wait Time versus Experience. I think my choice is going to be Popeyes.
I'm going Popeyes.
Because here's
I
the thing.
love E.T.
Yeah.
Love the ride. It probably did get a little bit too high rating because we're going off nostalgia.
Yeah.
And it's one of those rides you don't get rid of. I mean, they should never get rid
And
of.
I also think that E.T. is great for, like, going through with little kids or, newly,
Yes.
seeing it. Or just for the nostalgia. But I think overall, if you're going for, like, the experience every time, Popeyes, you're getting a different experience
But
every time.
Popeyes is one of those rides. When you go, if you're multi-day and you're at studio side, I mean, you ride it every day.
Every day.
And maybe a couple times a day.
And like I said, you get a different experience every time because it doesn't ever land the exact same
Yeah.
while you're riding it, and you're with different
And,
people.
and the
every time.
only knock against Popeyes and Pluto's is it's a water ride. So I mean, the only problem with that is unless you want to get wet every day, I mean,
Yeah,
that
true.
would be the
Like if
only
you're just
downfall.
doing it and you just want to get through the park, ET
Yeah.
would be better. But we know the winner there, Popeyes. So next upset in the tournament, Popeyes. All right, we're next up is Ripsaw versus Forbidden Journey.
I'm going Forbidden Journey on theming.
Yes, Forbidden Journey definitely has way better theme. Probably a really good theme.
Yes.
Thrill,
I'm going Ripsaw.
Ripsaw. So it's 1-1 now. Wait time versus experience.
It's about that. I mean, I'm.
It's close to the same, but I'm gonna take into account the experience for Ripsaw because you get a better experience in a ride.
I'm not a big fan of Forbidden Journey just because of the ride vehicle. I'm going Ripsaw.
All right, so Ripsaw with the next upset in the tournament moves on over Forbidden Journey, which I know we'll probably get a lot of backlash there because the theming and it's a fun ride.
If I like to ride it, I would probably put it a lot more. But
I mean, it is a good ride.
It is.
You feel like you're actually flying.
I mean,
so.
the only knock on Forbidden Journey is for people that are definitely claustrophobic.
Oh yeah,
it's a bad ride.
You feel stuck.
And for people that get motion sickness, it's a bad ride. So
Yeah.
that's the only reason I'm.
Mine on that one, I mean, it's a hard one to go to right there. But mine, I would say, is because if I walk into the Islands of Adventure, the first ride out of those two that come to my mind is Ripsaw Fall. Like, I want to ride that ride all the time.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where I'm going.
And also, me and Shelby and Sandy went to HHN, and I mean, I think they might have rode it one time. You know.
All right, so next up. This one's a tough one, too. Rank 3 Mummy versus the 14th ranked Jurassic River Adventure.
Well, first off, Mummy has the best theme.
Best theming. Thrill, Mummy's all around.
Yes.
So it's
gonna
gonna
be a
win, but all around. Like Jurassic has a great drop.
Wait time versus experience. I mean,
it's gonna be
I
about
mean, your
the
wait
same.
time. Well, your wait time for River Adventure usually isn't
But
as
the
bad.
experience.
But the experience for the Mummy is
So Mummy moves on. We already kind of knew that, but it was tougher. All right, next up we have Hagrid's versus Transformers. Now Hagrid's comes in at 13th, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
Versus a number 4 ranked Transformers.
Hagrid's could be one of the best rides in both parks. Period.
Like I said, in the last video, the theming really brought it down. So in this one, theming between Hagrid's and Transformers.
I'd still go Hagrid's.
I'm gonna go Hagrid's because Transformers does have an overall good theming with like all its stuff, but it's kind of bland if you're putting it against Hagrid's.
I mean, and then each time you go into a different one, it's the same.
It's basically the same. Yeah.
Yeah. With Hagrid's, you can see the hut. You can go inside.
And at least you have the little
You
part
see
where he
his
drives
little-
over you.
Yeah, you got the thing.
Let's
I
go
think
with Hagrid's.
maybe we didn't.
Yeah,
I think if they had kept the show, and there wasn't certain spots that were just dead in theming,
That's true.
that it would be
Because
better.
like the whole beginning, you're kind of just outside
yeah.
standing.
I mean, other than the hut there that you see.
But Transformers are basically just standing in the same spot.
yeah.
It just moves. So yeah, Hagrid's on the theming. Thrill, obviously. Hagrid's.
Yeah.
Transformers has a great thrill.
This might be a 13th seed going to the final.
I think it
mean,
is.
It could be.
But
I mean,
I think that Transformers is good in thrill. And you're constantly going.
Yes.
But Hagrid's is
but
just
again, it's a roller coaster versus a
Yep.
screen.
Hagrid's moves on with the upset from the 13th to the 4th seed, which should have been flipped. But all right, so now we have the number 5 ranked Hulk versus number 12 ranked Men in Black. Theming,
I mean, Men in Black's probably got the better theme.
I was getting ready to say, I think the theming is close because there's not a lot in either one, but the theming of Men in Black I like better. All right, so that's one for Men in Black. Thrill.
Well, let me go back to Men in Black and tell you why. If you actually go through the regular wait line and you have to go through the little elevator
Oh yeah.
that's supposed to go so fast in 7 seconds, and then you go through where the coffee room is and you see the little worm aliens. It's pretty cool there. If you go through Express, you see nothing.
Yeah, you literally go straight to
And,
the ride.
and we've only done non-express,
like a few times,
maybe
like 2 years.
yeah.
And
So
like twice riding.
So that's why that's why you can that's why you got a better theming. And we have done non-express Hulk, and it's just like I said, it's just some
basically the
tubes
same,
with
really.
lighting and
some
stuff.
screens to watch.
So
Thrill
Thrill
so theming to Men in Black.
Yep.
Thrill
Hulk.
Hulk.
It
obviously.
is
It's
a
a roller
better
coaster
ride, yeah.
versus
Roller coaster.
just a little game.
Yep.
Family wise, and maybe we'll do some family friendly ride contests, but it's gonna be more family friendly. But for
Yeah.
Thrill, so 1-1. Wait time versus experience.
I'm going Hulk.
I'm going Hulk. I think wait time similar, but for the experience, Hulk's better. So the number 5 moves on. Next up, we have Spider-Man versus Kong, which is a tough one. Spider-Man comes in ranked at
Ooh,
number
it's a
9. Yeah, and Kong comes in at 8. So 8-9 matchup.
I'm gonna tell
Theming.
you, theming is Kong.
Kong.
Easy.
I mean, from the outside to the bus itself to the animatronics. I mean, the animatronic at the end, that itself beats the rest of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, yes, that's theming. Thrill.
I'm gonna be honest with you on thrill. I'm gonna probably go Spider-Man because
I am
Kong
too.
is. I mean, it's more of a straight line bus thing.
And, yeah, you get some spinning
I mean,
action.
you're pretty much watching the screen. So,
And when I was
Spider-Man,
younger-
Spider-Man, you got the flames, you got the water. You know,
And when I was younger, I literally thought I was falling at the end. So, yeah. So, Spider-Man's going to move on. Wait time versus experience.
I don't
Spider-Man, they're about the same.
But
But
here's
Spider-Man's
where you
probably
got.
not as
But
busy.
wait
most
time
often.
versus the experience, you got to start with these two being that close. You got to start adding in.
I'm waiting that long,
the
but
queue
which one
line.
was worth it? What do you get to look at? Spider-Man has a good queue line,
I think
but Kong's is way better.
yeah. But I'm gonna go Spider-Man because first off, it's one of our favorite rides. Second, it's just like I said, the ride itself is just there's more It's more interactive because you
Yeah.
got the 3D, to where Kong is now 2D. Now I will say
That's
Kong
true.
is
That's
better
true.
in my opinion in 2D.
And 2D, yeah. So I don't necessarily think that's an upset. They're interchangeable there.
Yeah.
But we're gonna move on with the upset.
It could have
the
been
slight
one or
upset.
the other. Yeah.
Spider-Man, and next we're at the number 1 seed Gringotts, which is crazy that ride made it there, versus the number 16 Rip Ride. Theming,
Gringotts.
hands
Easy.
down Gringotts.
Gringotts probably
Might be
has
the
the
best
best
theming
theming
overall.
in
Yeah.
both parks.
It comes close with Forbidden Journey because honestly,
Yeah,
if you're
Forbidden
a
Journey
Harry
and
Potter
Gringotts,
fan,
both of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but the animatronics in Gringotts is just unreal.
it's unreal. So with the thrill, obviously Gringotts.
Yeah, because it mixes a little bit of
You get
screen
everything.
and
And that first drop,
it's 3D, it's
It's pitch
screen,
black.
it's roller coaster. Rip Ride to me now with the music gone, and it's a boring ride. I mean it's music a lot of people just don't really like. I mean
Yeah.
There's 5 songs. I
I
mean I
agree.
think you can still get the.
you could do better.
I think you can still do the secret list, but
All right, so now we're gonna start at the top. The number 1 seed Gringotts versus the number 9 seed Spider-Man. Theming,
Gringotts.
Gringotts. Thrill.
I'm going Gringotts.
That one's a close one to
Uh,
me, but honestly,
I think it's.
I'm gonna go
Gringotts.
Gringotts. So it's gonna move on. Wait time versus experience,
Gringotts.
probably Gringotts.
Because
All right.
it's a lot. Because you got a lot of.
Yeah,
theming
you get
there that
more.
You can,
You get
there's
more.
a lot of theming you can look at as you're waiting, and it takes a lot of the time now.
Okay, we have the number 5 ranked Hulk versus the 13th ranked Hagrid's. I think we're looking at an upset.
yeah. Maybe
So
the biggest
theming, big time Hagrid's.
upset. Hagrid's.
Because I'm taking into account the ride itself too.
I mean,
You
Hulk
actually have Hagrid on the
The
ride.
actual Hulk outside the thing. Is
Yeah,
pretty
okay,
cool.
but
that's
think
really
about this:
about
you
it.
got the Hulk sculpture versus the actual animatronic Hagrid.
Yeah. I'm going with Hagrid's.
All right, so we're gonna go with Hagrid on theme. Thrill.
Hagrid's.
Hagrid's. I like the
I
drop.
mean,
the
Hulk
platform
is
drop.
the Hulk is
something.
good, but when it comes to thrill on the Hulk, it is rough.
I think a big thing for me too on Hagrid's is like it's something different. You've never really seen that, with the drop.
Yeah, the Hulk ride, it's just so rough anymore. I mean, a lot of people just black out.
And there's a lot with the new park coming. There's some rides that might give Hagrid's a run for its money with like the differentness. So, all right, so Hagrid's gonna move on. We're not even gonna go through wait time versus experience. Mummy versus Ripsaw.
This is probably the easiest bracket here.
Yeah. It's a Mummy.
Theme
Theming
mummy,
Mummy,
thrill mummy,
Thrill Mummy.
experience mummy. Wait
So,
time versus- it's
We're gonna
be
move on with Mummy
yeah,
there.
That's easy.
Easy. I mean, Ripsaw's a really good ride, but nothing to Mummy.
No,
And Velocicoaster versus Popeyes.
no question.
No question,
Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster.
I mean,
Yeah. Popeyes is a good thrill, but the thrill versus Velocicoaster, nowhere close.
we are probably right now. You're going to probably see the best 4 rides in the park in
Yes.
the top 4 here.
So this is the final 4. I'm going to scroll this out some so we can see it all.
Yeah.
So this is our final 4.
Oh, look, you got a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 13.
13. We
And
have a
there's no
Cinderella
way,
team.
I don't know how in the world Hagrid's is a 13.
It shouldn't be a Cinderella team,
I know.
but we have a Cinderella team.
We must
So
have screwed up royally on that one.
So this is where it gets tough. This is the final four. It all comes down to this: who's gonna be crowned champion? All right, number 1 ranked Gringotts. Actually, you know what? Let's save that one. Mummy versus Velocicoaster. Let's go with a tougher one, with the 2 seed versus the 3 seed. So, theming: Mummy versus Velocicoaster.
I'm gonna go Mummy on this one. Velocicoaster's cool because it does have the big
Right.
sculpture and it has the little animatronics but that's it. I mean, they don't have. I mean, it's
Here's-
got the big thing, the screens, but that's all you get. To where the Mummy
Yeah.
has, they have the Egyptian, all the
Exactly.
Egyptian writing.
That's
all
what
the
I'm gonna
Egyptian-
say. I think that
it has Anubis. It
and
has.
Velocicoaster goes so fast you can't really see
Yeah.
the actual ride.
And
stuff.
even when you come out of the Mummy, when you come into the gift shop, the theming inside the gift shop is pretty cool too.
There's
So,
like nothing in.
I mean,
Velocicoaster. So you just walk right
I mean,
in.
you walk right into the
Yeah.
little
So
store.
we're gonna go with a upset pick on theming for Mummy. Thrill.
I'm gonna go Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster.
Easy.
So this is a 1-to-1 right here. It comes down to wait time versus experience. What do we think? So the wait time hasn't been bad on
So
Velocicoaster.
do I go nostalgia or do I go?
I know, because wait time hasn't
Because-
been bad on Velocicoaster. It's been a little longer on Mummy. But the experience
I'm going.
is
I mean,
so good either one.
It's tough, but you gotta go Velocicoaster. It's got so many.
Yeah, I think that like the newness.
I'm just gonna be honest
The
with you.
launches
The launch that sends you into the big vertical drop
is insane.
is
Crazy.
crazy.
Was
And
it
not
like
only
0
that,
to
but,
like 70?
but
Well, that's
not
a bit-
0, but it just
yeah.
gives you a shoot
Yeah,
when
you
you go
just
through
get
that
up to
tunnel.
like 70.
And then the upside down over the water.
It's nuts.
I mean, it's
you literally
insane.
just
Yeah.
you're floating. So Velocicoaster's gonna take the cake, but the Mummy is such a great ride.
Yes.
In that side of the park,
We
in
ride-
studios,
we ride
Mummy
that.
is the absolute best.
There are
ride.
times that we get off that, go back on, get off, go back on, get off, go back on. I mean,
Exactly. Now you notice there's 2 rides from each park in the Final Four. We had 1 from each, or 2 from each. We had the Mummy and Gringotts from Studios, and we had Hagrid's and Velocicoasters from Islands, which shows you can have a lot of fun at both parks.
I'm gonna do a little test. Do a little test while we're online here. I'm gonna text my daughter and see
What she would pick in that situation.
if in these 2 picks. Not I've already got what I think, but I just want to see because she goes
Okay.
a lot with us. So I want.
So this one's hard because these are 2 Wizarding World rides, different parts of the park. Theming. So this is the 1 seed versus the 13 seed. Theming, I think, in my opinion, Gringotts takes the theming overall because, but it's tough. I think the theming because it's continuous all the way through. You get,
Gringotts theming is
it's probably
much
one of the
better.
best in the whole park. I mean, I think that Hagrid's gets a 1-up on like the ride itself, the theming there. But like, and there's certain parts there's not really much to
I think
the
the ride
so-
itself is better than Hagrid's or better than Gringotts.
Yeah, so we'll go to Thrill. It of course would be
I think the theming
Probably
is better
Hagrid's.
on
Gringotts.
Gringotts.
So we got a 1 for Gringotts on theming,
Yes.
1 for Hagrid's on Thrill.
Now this is the part that's going to make it. It's probably
Wait
gonna-
time versus experience. I think
Love Hagrid's,
the
But-
wait time's crazy
but the wait times can be anywhere from 60
to
to 120 minutes.
Yeah, 120, 130.
And I'm not all about that. I mean, I'm
No.
sorry. I think they need to find a way to go ahead.
Once they put
yeah.
Express in there,
Maybe it might work. Maybe it might not. I don't know. But I mean, some people say like single riders is even longer than just as longer, not longer than the regular line. So I'm going Gringotts on the weight versus
you think Gringotts there?
experience.
Okay. And my thing is this. Here's why I'm gonna go into count with you on that. So you got a 1-to-1 right now.
If you're riding it for the first time, fine.
Hagrid's.
But if this is your 20th time riding
yeah,
it,
here's where I'm going. I'm thinking of what ride can I ride multiple times
yes.
and say that wait was purely worth it. Because in my opinion, if I'm gonna go wait in a long line, I'm gonna ride Hagrid's once and then move on to like Velocicoaster.
Okay, let me add something to that for you. So if you're there for one day, right, and you're like, oh, I want to ride Hagrid's, okay, and you see that it's a 120 minute. I mean, that's a 2-hour wait.
Yeah.
So now you say you take it, you're there in November, December when they close at 5 or 6 o'clock. Now you got 2 hours out of your
miss
day
most of your day.
that you might not even get to ride some other rides.
Yeah, and if you don't get to go often, you're gonna waste a lot of time for one ride. When you hit Gringotts, you're gonna get in pretty quickly and get out. You'll go get Velocicoaster, get in, get out. So
The
I'm
most
gonna
I've
go
ever seen,
Gringotts.
most I've ever seen Gringotts has been 75 minutes.
So unfortunately, the Cinderella story ends there. Listen, it should have been ranked higher. It's a great ride, but it's definitely a Final Four. It's definitely the top 4 overall. It's just maybe if you put it up against Mummy, it'd be a slightly different story. I don't know, but Mummy still probably beat it out.
All right, Shelby said she would have picked Hagrid's.
So either way,
But she's probably just going on rides. She's not going by
she
what
don't
I'm
see
thinking.
what we're going through, and
Yeah.
we're 2 to 3 on that anyway. So Gringotts is gonna move on. That might be a controversial pick for some of you all, and maybe you all put what you prefer in the comments below. But we have our championship round.
And I really don't
Our
think
championship round, but I don't even know if it's gonna be much of a competition.
I mean,
but let's look
I
at
think Gringotts might win
Theming.
one. Yeah, theming. They'll win theming.
it. Velocicoaster has great theming, but like we talked about, much after the ride itself, you don't see as much. And Gringotts has so much, like the
Yes.
bank, the dragon on the outside.
The dragon with the
It's
breathing
insane.
fire.
You
The
walk through the bank.
animatronics.
You got the elves.
Yeah.
You got the elves at the bank that like look so real. So theming goes to Gringotts. Thrill,
Velocicoaster.
it's no question. Velocicoaster. So it's 1-1. Wait time versus experience.
But now let me go back into things. So Velocicoaster is a freaking all in. You don't stop roller coaster.
Yeah.
Gringotts, it goes through.
You get to stop
It'll
and
stop
look
for
at
a
stuff
second.
too.
Screen thing goes. Screen goes.
Some parts
screen.
of the roller coaster.
So and then it's a mix, which is a great mix. But again, if you're going for thrill, you're going
It's
for
definitely Velocicoaster.
People screaming the
entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Velocicoaster take a cake on thrill. Last category, wait time versus experience.
Usually the wait times are
Not
around
that
about
bad
the
on-
same.
yeah.
45 minutes to an hour.
And the experience is much better on
Velocicoaster.
Velocicoaster. So
So-
our winner,
Velocicoaster.
champion overall of Universal Orlando Resort is Velocicoaster. So we're gonna crown that the champion right there.
So the Raptors win.
Let's move it over so you all can see it there. So Velocicoaster is gonna win that, and it's a great ride. Make sure you hit that ride in the park.
Yes.
So that is our
multiple times, and I will suggest going through one time in the front, go to the back because those are the best 2 spots on the ride. Because once you hit that spot where it shoots you up, and you come down and you're in the front, there's nothing in front of you. It's like you're free falling to the ground, and in the back you just get so much more of the ride and the speed
Absolutely.
and all that stuff. So
It's a crazy ride. So I think that sums it up. That is our 30 ride tournament at Universal Orlando Resort.
and don't forget, we didn't include the Hogwarts Express as a ride,
Yeah.
because it's
Yeah, it's a bonus. Go check that out. It's a great thing to go check out and ride to each park.
if you but see, the reason we didn't count that is because if you only have one park and you can't
Yeah,
go
you
to
can't
the
go
other
both.
park, if you only have a one park ticket, all it does is take you to the other park. So if you don't have a 2 park ticket, then you're not going, or you can't ride it. So
All right, so thank you for watching. Please hit that like button. Subscribe so you can keep up with all the videos we have coming up, because we're going to do all kinds of these based on different categories, not just tournaments, maybe breakdown of each ride, top 10 things to do, top 5 things, all those kind of things. So
and we already have some videos that he should probably link,
We'll-
or maybe
we'll have
here,
all
here,
those
here.
you can check out. Some cool shorts you can go check out, our little competitions. So also hit that notification bell. That way once we post our next video, you'll be able to see that we posted it and go check it out as soon as it's posted.
Also, we have some other some channels. It's some screen printing channels. If you're screen printing and woodworking channels, if you're into that kind of stuff, I own my own business. We do some cool projects. We made some shirts for Rick's Flicks. You can see where we made
Bunch
this
of Universal shirts.
shirt.
Yep.
Made this shirt right here. We made that for him and Nikki, and we used it for our vacation when we went in July. So
So check
those
out that. That's LS Graphics, by the way. And then also check out my kids' channel. It is Houston's Toy Time, because they have a lot of fun. That's just kind of our little vlog of just us having a lot of family fun. But we also have a little bit of kind of vlog of us going to the parks.
Yes,
So
with
check
toddlers,
that out. With
so.
toddlers. So if you want to see kind of how we get around the parks with toddlers, there you go. There you have it. So anyways, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.